ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the new episode of the Madinah Arabic tutorial series for Book 1. We are now in part 2 of Lesson 13. Today we are going to pick up and start using a new ضمير منفصل from the detached pronoun table that we have learned before. Before we talk about it, let's do our usual drill and go over the entire table together. هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن. One more time. هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن. In this lesson, we are formally introduced to ضمير منفصل هم, which means they for جمع المذكر, masculine plural. So the plural of هو will be hum. Now let's go ahead and open up pages 70 and 71 of the book and go over exercise 2 to practice the new ضمير that we just learned. In this exercise, we will need to convert the underlined mufrod or singular ism in the sentences to their respective plural forms as shown in the mithal, the example at the beginning. In the first part of the mithal, we have من هذا الرجل هو حاج. Who is this man? He is a pilgrim. The underlined word here is the ism الرجل, the man. As we have learned in the last episode, the plural of رجل is رجال. And in the معرفه or definite form, رجال will be الرجال. الرجال. So the new question with الرجال is من هؤلاء الرجال? Who are these men? Notice we also changed the اسم الإشارة هذا to هؤلاء. And in the answer, instead of هو حاج, we say هم حجاج, since we know that the plural of هو is hum. And we are replacing حاج with its plural form حجاج. هم حجاج means they are pilgrims. Let's go to part 1 now. Here's what we are given. من أين هذا الطالب? هو من الهند. Where is this student from? He is from India. The word الطالب is underlined here. Do you remember the plural of الطالب? It is الطلاب, right? So it is a broken plural with the pattern فعال, as in طلاب. So the plural version of the question and the answer should be من أين هؤلاء الطلاب? هم من الهند. Where are these students from? They are from India. Very good. We will move on to part 2. أين التاجر الكبير؟ هو في السوق. Where is the big trader? He is in the market. The plural of التاجر is broken and it is التجار. So تجار and طلاب both have the same pattern, فعال, as we saw in the video tutorial for part 1. Then what do you think? What should be the plural version of the question? We may be tempted to say أين التجار الكبير, but that would not be fully correct because here التاجر الكبير are connected to each other. الكبير is coming as a NAAT for التاجر. And as we talked about in Lesson 9 Part 1, NAAT and MANUWT match in 4 aspects. The first one is definiteness, like نكره or معرفه. Then in case, like MARFUU MANSUWB or MAJRUWR. Then they match in gender, مذكر or مؤنث. And the last one that we briefly mentioned without an example was the count, like ALMUFROD or ALJAMU. And now we are going to see the usage of this last agreement in count between MANUWT and NAAT. The rule is if the MANUWT is plural, the NAAT should also come as plural. So here we should use the plural form of al-kabiru to go with at-tujjaru. The plural is al-kibaru. It is a jam'u taksir with the pattern fi'alun, as in kibarun. So together our new question should be أين التجار الكبار? Where are the big traders? And the answer will be هم في السوق. They are in the market. Part 3. أين المدرس الجديد؟ هو عند المدير. Where is the new teacher? He is with the principal in his office. The plural of المدرس is المدرسون. It is a sound plural. جمع المذكر السالم. One thing to point out here is that the una ending of the sound masculine plural المدرسون indicates that it is in مرفوع case, even though the ism ends with fatha. We will later see how the sound plurals turn into mansub or majrur cases inshallah. Because al-jadidu is coming as naat, for al-mudarrisu, we will also need to convert al-jadidu to a plural form. Do you remember the plural form of jadidun? It is jududun, right? Then the ma'rifa form al-jadidu should be al-jududu. The new question then is أين المدرسون الجدد? Where are the new teachers? So we can see here the naat al-jadidu is following the man'ut al-mudarrisuna in case, in definiteness, in gender, and in count. Both are marfu', ma'rifa, muthakkar, and al-jamu. And the response should be they are with the principal. So we will replace huwa with hum. Hum عند المدير. They are with the principal. The first question of part 4 is also similar in structure. أين الطلاب الجديد؟ أهو في الفصل؟ Where is the new student? Is he in the classroom? The plural form of the man'ut and the naat الطالب الجديد will be الطلاب الجدد. So our new question should be أين الطلاب الجدد؟ أهم في الفصل؟ Where are the new students? Are they in the classroom? Part 5 also involves the ism الطالب. أهذا الطالب غني؟ لا، هو فقير. Is this student rich? No, he is poor. Now we want to ask, are these students rich? We talked about جمع التكسير of the ism غني in the last video. It follows the pattern أفعلاء. Can you convert غني to أفعلاء pattern? It is أغنياء, right? The plural version of the question should be أهؤلاء الطلاب أغنياء. In the answer, we should use the plural form of فقير, which is فقراء. It is also a broken plural following the pattern فعلاء. The answer will be لا هم فقراء. No, they are poor. Let's see what we have in part 6. من هذا الرجل؟ هو ضيف. Who is this man? He is a guest. We saw the same question in the مثال. The broken plural of رجل is رجال, which follows the pattern فعال. الرجل will then become الرجال. The plural of ضيف is ضيوف, so its pattern is فعول. Together, the plural version of this question and the answer will be من هؤلاء الرجال؟ هم ضيوف. Who are these men? They are guests. Part 7. لي أخ كبير هو طالب بالجامعة. I have a big brother. He is a student in the university. Can you identify the مبتدأ and خبر of the first sentence here? Can لي function as the مبتدأ? No, right? Because we said before, مبتدأ has to be اسم مرفوع. It cannot be جار ومجرور like لي. لي is functioning as خبر مقدم, early خبر here. أخ is مبتدأ مؤخر or delayed مبتدأ. أخ كبير is a منعوت and نعت combination. So we need to convert both of them to الجمع. The plural of أخ is إخوة, following the pattern فعلة. And we talked about the plural of كبير earlier, which is كبار. So the plural version is لي إخوة كبار هم طلاب بالجامعة. I have big brothers. They are students in the university. For the next part, we'll need to use the plural masculine form of the past tense verb. So let me pull up the conjugation table for the verb ذهب to refresh our memory about verb conjugations for the past tense. It is given in the usual order from third person to second, and first from right to left, and from مذكر to مؤنث, from top to bottom. Let's go over the whole list a couple of times. ذهب ذهبا ذهبوا ذهبت ذهبتا ذهبنا ذهبت ذهبتما ذهبتم ذهبت ذهبتما ذهبتن ذهبت ذهبنا. One more time. ذهب ذهبا ذهبوا ذهبت ذهبتا ذهبنا ذهبت ذهبتما ذهبتم ذهبت ذهبتما ذهبتن ذهبت ذهبنا. We have already been using 4 of them in our sentences. They are ذهب, he went, ذهبت, she went, ذهبت, you went, and ذهبت, I went. And from today we will start using ذهبوا, they went. So ذهب is he went for مذكر مفرد, and ذهبوا is they went for جمع المذكر. Let's see what we have in part 8 now. أين صديقك؟ ذهب إلى المكتبة. Where is your friend? He went to the library. The plural of صديق follows the broken plural pattern أفعلاء. Can you try to convert صديق to أفعلاء pattern? It is أصدقاء, right? So the question should be أين أصدقاؤك? Where are your friends? And we just learned that the plural form of ذهب is ذهبوا. So we should write our answer as ذهبوا إلى المكتبة, which means they went to the library. The response is a فعلية sentence. The فعل is ذهبوا, part of the verb without the letter الواو, and the letter الواو is coming as the فاعل or the doer. And إلى المكتبة is جار ومجرور. You may have noticed that there is an alif at the end of the word ذهبوا, but we did not pronounce that. It is not even part of the fa'il. You may be wondering why it is there then. Alif is actually protecting the fa'il al-waw coming before it, because in certain cases when the verb is written without haraka or vowel signs, the letter al-waw may be mixed up with the harfu atf wa in a sentence, and alif comes right after it to tell us that the letter al-waw belongs to the verb and it is not sitting alone as a harf wa. That is why this alif is called a protector alif. Part 9. محمد له ابن صغير هو طالب في المدرسة. Muhammad, he has a small son. He's a student in school. Can you identify the mubtada and khabar of the first sentence? Muhammadun is the mubtada, right? I hope you figured that the khabar is actually the inner jumla ismiya له ابن صغير. له is the khabar muqaddam of the inner sentence. Ibnun is the mubtada muakhar, and صغير is NAAT for ibnun. The plural version should be محمد له أبناء صغار هم طلاب في المدرسة. Muhammad, he has small sons. They are students in school. Part 10. أزميلك مجتهد؟ نعم هو مجتهد. Is your colleague or classmate hardworking? Yes, he is hardworking. The plural of زميل would be زملاء. So it is following the pattern فعلاء. The plural of مجتهد is جمع المذكر السالم. So we add the suffix una to the end and it becomes مجتهدون. Then the plural versions of the question and the answer will be أزملاؤك مجتهدون؟ نعم هم مجتهدون. Are your colleagues hardworking? Yes, they are hardworking. Okay, we are done with this exercise. Let's jump to exercise 4 on pages 71 and 72 and practice a bit more with the new form of the verb that we just learned for third person جمع المذكر. The مثال example is الطالب ذهب إلى المطعم. We can translate the general meaning of this sentence as the student went to the restaurant. But literally, the translation would be the student, he went to the restaurant. This is an ismiya sentence because it is starting with the ism الطالب. What do you think would be the khabar? The khabar is the jumla fi'aliyya. ذهب إلى المطعم. He went to the restaurant. And in this verbal sentence, the fi'al is ذهب, فاعله مستتر, its doer is hidden, and إلى المطعم is jar wa majrur. Now the plural version of this sentence is الطلاب ذهبوا إلى المطعم. The students went to the restaurant. But literally, the students, they went to the restaurant. This sentence is a jumla ismiya. Its mubtada is الطلاب. Its khabar is the jumla fi'aliyya ذهبوا إلى المطعم. They went to the restaurant. If you remember in our video tutorial for lesson 10 part 4, we said the khabar can be a single word or a phrase like jar wa majrur or ظرف مضاف إليه, or as a third type, the khabar can be a whole sentence, either jumla ismiya or jumla fi'aliyya. We have seen examples of jumla ismiya coming as khabar before. In this exercise, we are now introduced to the sentences where the whole jumla fi'aliyya is functioning as khabar. In this fi'aliyya sentence of the khabar, ذهبوا is the fi'al and fa'il combined. The fa'il is al-waw. إلى المطعم is the jar wa majrur. So we are given three jumla of the same structure with singular mubtada. And we need to convert them to the plural forms as shown in the mithal. The first sentence is الطالب جلس في الفصل. The student sat in class. What do you think the plural version of this sentence is? It is الطلاب جلسوا في الفصل. The students sat in class. The mubtada of the second sentence is الطلاب. What is the khabar? It is the whole jumla fi'aliyya جلسوا في الفصل. They sat in class. جلسوا is the fi'al and fa'il combined, and fa'il is al-waw. Part 2. المدرس خرج من المدرسة. The teacher came out of the school. Can you try to convert this to the plural version on your own? The plural version should be المدرسون خرجوا من المدرسة. The teachers came out of the school. As we talked before, the ism al-mudarrisuna is the sound plural or JAMU salim, and it is coming as marfu' in the sentence because mubtada should be marfu'. And the khabar is the fi'liya sentence خرجوا من المدرسة. They came out of the school. خرجوا is the fi'al and fa'il combined. And in the final sentence, التاجر ذهب إلى السوق. The trader went to the market. The plural version of the sentence will be التجار ذهبوا إلى السوق. The traders went to the market. So التجار is the mubtada of the jumla ismiya, and its khabar is the remaining fi'aliyya sentence ذهبوا إلى السوق. They went to the market. And again, the conjugation form ذهبوا has the fi'al and fa'il in it. The fa'il is al-waw. Very good. We are done with exercise 4. Let's finish our episode here and come back to continue going over the remaining exercises in the next video. I will see you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.